Thank you for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, consider joining the family by hitting the subscribe button. And remember that notification bell because that way you'll be reminded every time I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel I create budget-friendly home decor that's easy to do. So if you want to see some of my creations, keep watching. Well, hello again, my friends. I'm going to share with you some very simple and easy DIYs that I created using some budget-friendly items. For this first DIY, I'm going to be using these frame canvases, and these are the ones with the wooden frame from Dollar Tree, and I have one of each size. I'm going to be using this little family word that came out of the pack from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to use these tumbling blocks just to help me with some spacing. I have some jute cord here, and I'm going to be using some of this wax color paint from Walmart, and that's the Hello Hobby brand, some Waverly white chalk paint, and this home decor rich black color. The first thing I'm going to do is remove these canvases from the frames, and I'm just pulling up the staples because I need to use this canvas for a future DIY. Otherwise, I would just rip this right off, but I want to save this canvas. So I'm just going right under the staples to remove them so that everything can stay intact. So after I pull all the staples up, this will come off intact. But like I said, if you just want to get it off, it does rip right off. I'm probably just going to rip the other canvases off because all I needed was this one piece here. And then once I get all of these done, I'm just going to go around sanding where the staples were and where I pulled everything up so that things can be nice and smooth. And then after I get all of these sanded, what I'm going to do is go in and start painting these. What I'm going to do is paint the large frame with the black chalk paint, this one with the white, and this small one with the wax color. And I'm just going to go over them with one coat because I do want to still see some of that natural wood. So what I'm going to do is after I paint them and glue them together, the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to go over and just sand down in some areas just to see some of this natural color. And I'm just making sure that I paint all sizes of the frame. And once I get all three painted, what I'm going to do is just place one inside of the other one. And then I'm going to connect them using this jute cord. But I'm going to add those tumbling blocks in between the larger two just to make sure that this frame won't do so much moving around. And then I'm just going to attach them from the corners from each frame. So I'm just adding a hot glue in the corner of each one of the frames and tacking everything down. And the one in the middle, it's moving, but as I glue it down, I'll pull it in place how I want it. And then I'm just going to add some glue for the other corner, attach the cord, and I'm just going to repeat that step that I did for the first piece. And I am going to add a flower bud to the center of this, and I'm just going to pull off one of my Walmart 97-cent floral picks, and I am just going to hot glue that right in the center of these frames. And then after I get that complete, I am going to take the little family word that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to hot glue that down to the bottom corner, and I'm going to attach it right on the white and the black frame all the way at the bottom. And then after I get that complete, I am going to hot glue some jute cord all around the front of this frame. And once I get that attached, this DIY is complete. This was a really simple project, but I absolutely love how this turned out. This came out really cute. And so now I'm going to get started on the second project for today. And what I'm going to be using is two of these canvas wood signs from the Dollar Tree. I have one of these little pots from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using some jute cord. I do have some florals and some lamb's ears that I pick up at Walmart. I'm going to be using a few of these Dollar Tree stones. And I'm going to be using some more of that antique wax and some of that Waverly white chalk paint. I'm going to do the same thing like I did to the previous Dollar Tree frames. I'm just going to remove the canvas after removing the staples, and then once I get that complete, I am going to glue these two frames together using some wood glue and some hot glue. And I'm just going to place the other frame right on top of this one. I'm going to get some paper towel and wipe off some of that wood glue that is seeping through. And then once I get done doing that, I am going to take that antique wax and I am going to stain over this frame. And I'm just going to go in with the wax color, and then I'll take a paper towel to wipe off some of the excess. I'm meaning to get me some baby wipes because the baby wipes do work better, but I have to pick up more. So I'm just using this paper towel that I have handy. And then once I get this completely painted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint that little pot using that Waverly white. And I'm not going to paint the whole pot because I am going to wrap that in jute cord. I am just going to paint the top and the inside. I really didn't even have to paint the inside, but I wanted to paint the places where you make and see. I didn't want anything to peek through. So then after I get that done, what I'm going to do is just add some hot glue and start wrapping this jute cord around the bottom of it. I am going to wrap this cord all the way down to the bottom so you won't see any of that pot, and then I'm just going to tack it down really good with some hot glue and cut off the extra cord. Now I'm going to attach some jute cord and hot glue it all the way around this frame, covering up where I attached the two frames together. So after I get that cord tacked down, I am going to staple a piece of cord to the back so that I can have the option to hang this piece. And I'm going to add 2 staples on each side. So once I get that staple, I'm going to go in and add another staple because this is a heavy piece. So I want to make sure that if I hang it, it's secured on the wall. So now I'm going to add in my greenery and my floral. And I'm just going to slap the stem right between that crack. Fold up the stem and I'm going to place it in the pot. I am going to add some hot glue to tack this pot down so it will not move. And then I'm just going to stick that stem right in the pot. I am going to add those stones to cover up the stem. And then what I'm going to do next is just pull some pieces of florals off of that and add just maybe 2 pieces. And then this DIY will be complete. This was another simple project, but I think this came out really pretty. And so now I'm going to get started on the next DIY for today. And what I'm going to be using for that DIY is 2 of these little bud vases from the Target Dollar Spot. And those were a 3-pack for $3. I'm going to be using 2 of these little round pieces. And this pack came from Hobby Lobby and I paid $1.49 for 4. I have this orchid pick from Walmart and I'm going to be using some pieces off of this. I'm also going to be using some jute cord and some of that black chalk paint. What I'm doing first is just painting these little round wood pieces with that color. Once I get those 2 round wood pieces painted, what I'm going to do is just hot glue my little bud vases right on top. And once I get both of those tacked down, I'm just going to take that jute cord and I'm going to hot glue it right around the neck of both of these vases. And then once I get that complete, what I'm going to do is just add in my 2 pieces of orchids right inside of the vase. And I do have one of those little wood boxes from Michael's, and I just pulled off the hanging piece and the string. I'm just going to stain this using the antique wax color, because what I'm going to do is just use this box to style those 2 little vases in. So after I get this completely painted, all I'm going to do is just add my vases in this. And this was a simple DIY, but I like how it looks really high end. I think it came out really cute. These were some very simple DIYs, but they all turned out really cute. Now I'm going to get started on the last DIY for today, and what I'm going to be using is some of these letters, and I believe I got this pack here from Walmart. I'm going to be using 2 packs of these painter sticks, and these are 3 in a pack at Walmart for 98 cents. I have all of these leftover florals and greeneries, and all of these bunches here came from Walmart. Some was 97 cents, and some just came off of a bigger bunch that I had, and the lamb's ears was like $2. And I'm going to be using some of the antique wax color as well as the white chalk paint. What I'm doing is cutting down all of these painter sticks, and I am just basically cutting the handles off. I just want to make sure that they all are the same size. Then what I'm going to do next is just sand over where I cut them down so there won't be any sharp edges. Now I'm just going to line these sticks up, making sure that they are straight. All I'm doing is creating a sign. If you have a Dollar Tree sign, you can use that. I actually like to create my signs using those painter sticks. I'm attaching these sticks together by using some leftover painter stick pieces that I cut down from a previous DIY. When I cut down my painter sticks, I save all of those pieces for purposes like this. So after I get everything tacked down, I am going to flip it over to the front, and I'm going to sand over it a little bit with my Dollar Tree sanding block. And then I'm going to go in and start painting this using that antique wax. I am going to wipe off the excess just to get that stained look. And so I just wanted to create a really pretty floral sign. So after I get this stain, and I am going to do the front and back, the next thing that I'm going to do is take that wavy white chalk paint, and I am going to heavily distress over the center of this sign. I'm not going to go all the way to the edges. I'm just going to continue brushing over in the center. And so after I get that complete, I'm going to take those letters and just spell out the word home. And I'm going to add it close to the bottom, not all the way in the corner, but just at the bottom of this sign. Then after I get the word home tagged down, I am going to go over it with some Mod Podge a little later, but first I want to finish the sign. So I'm just going to staple my jute cord to the back of this sign, because that way I'm going to be able to hang it. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to start attaching my florals. I'm just going to be doing some layering with these floral pieces, just adding them, overlapping one on top of the other. I'm just cutting the stems down some to see how I want to place everything, and then I'm just going to start going in with the hot glue and just tacking everything down. For this sign, I just wanted a bunch of different kind of greeneries and florals, and I just wanted to add a bunch of them and just have them layered. I wanted to create a really pretty floral sign. So I'm just going to continue adding these different florals and greeneries here and there, just kind of making sure that everything is nice and full. I'm going to add a few more pieces just to bring it out a little more. And then once I feel like I have enough, I'm going to just Mod Podge over that word home. And then this sign is complete, and I absolutely love how this turned out. This is really pretty. Thank you all so much for watching another one of my videos. I absolutely do appreciate all of the support. I hope you enjoyed today's video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. As always, in the comment section below, let me know which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And here is a second look of the DIYs I created today. I also want to remind you that I did start my second channel called All Things Lovely. On that channel, I'll be doing product reviews, hauls, self-care tips, beauty tips, and much, much more. I'm going to link that channel in my description box below so you can come over and visit me sometime. Just spend a little bit of your day with me. Until next time, my friends, stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.